The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. This is the ultimate guide to happiness and success. It's the philosophy the author developed for over 30 years. It's about your willingness to do one more rep, one more sales call, get in 1 hour earlier, build one more relationship, and do one more thing that your life demands of you. But this is what a one more life entails, and by living a one more life, you can completely change your outlook on life, relationships, finance, and much more. Listening to the intro of the audiobook, I was like, damn, this is just gonna be another self-development book. Mind you, I admire Ed Mylett. I think he's a super smart guy who has been through some uncommon struggles that he has extracted powerful insights from over the years. And I checked out his other book, Max Out Your Life, and I certainly enjoyed it, but I had a feeling this one would scratch more of the local itch that many people have nowadays. Yet, writing down the chapter names, I was like, damn, this is not gonna be just another self-development book. Because you can not only tell that this guy follows his own advice, like after every one I wrote down, I was like, well, I guess it's time to just write down one more. But it seems like every chapter really tied together what he was saying about it being a true life philosophy. But let's get right to this review. I'm gonna go over my thoughts on the book through the chapters, some things I learned, things that surprised me. We'll go over some standout quotes from the book, who I recommend this book to, and what books to maybe check out next. Just so you guys know, there are affiliate links in the description, and if you buy anything through those links, like maybe this book, then I get commission, which helps me build this channel and keep making these videos. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam, and I want to make self-growth normal, because people shouldn't have to look this information up. It should just be mainstream knowledge. If you agree, then please make sure to smash that like button. First chapter is One More Identity. Here he discusses where your identity comes from and how to adjust it by using your identity thermostat. If your internal thermostat is not high enough, then small failures will not be a problem. Next is One More and Living in the Matrix. This chapter expands on real life applications of the Matrix movie, a little bit more than you might expect from someone like Tom Bilyeu per se. Nothing against Tom, I love Tom. He's very lovable and super knowledgeable, but this was just very expansive. Like again, when I wrote down the chapter names of The Power of One More, I found myself thinking, this is really actually a philosophy. It's something that I could find easier to believe in than maybe just the compound effect or the 5-second rule. Nothing against the compound effect or the 5-second rule. I love both the compound effect and the 5-second rule. They're both very lovable books, super knowledgeable. Anyway, like I said, I mean, one more try, one more and time management, one more association, one more dream, one more emotion, one more question to ask, one more goal, one more higher standard, and much, much, much of one more. Of course, it's broadly applicable to life, but other chapters touch on equanimity and leadership, principles and perspectives. You just gotta have one more though. After every chapter he wrote, I imagine him just being like, oh, just one more chapter about one more thing. The one more try approach of trying just one more compounds your results after doing it over and over again. And I swear the way he talked about this made it sound like the most powerful one more principle. I'm in sales, and once a month, every month for about 6 months now, I have sent out 300 plus letters to all new homeowners within maybe a 25-mile radius, basically saying, welcome to the community, my name is Sam, here is what I sell, and if you need anything, here is my contact info. I have yet to make a sale doing this. Again, I've been doing it for like 6 months now, but I'm not gonna find out whether it works unless I keep going. I'm betting on this. And you may be surprised how many flywheel effect sales success stories start out like this. Exactly like this. I'm still much better at marketing than sales, probably. So mind you, this is maybe one of 6 different ways I market myself as a salesperson. Some of those I've done for the same time and made sales on. One more and the 5 principles of time management. Here you learn about how we treat time like a variable, when in reality, it is a variable. This chapter goes over how to bend your perception of time. It's the type of chapter with information that's probably worth 100 books. This chapter almost pissed me off because it's been 3 years since I started doing these reviews, and I can't help thinking like, am I not able to put these out as fast as I used to? I actually love these time management principles. Time management is a practice very near and dear to me, and it totally changed my life and especially work ethic. So I'm going to make a video about these time management principles, and I'm actually going to drop a link to it in the description below. Then there's One More Emotion. It almost seems to me like the first sentence of each chapter is what the chapter perfectly expands upon. The quality of your life with this one is determined largely by the quality of your emotions. They heavily influence hundreds of decisions you make every day, and they can often be the drivers of your personality personality. It's almost like in the moment, it's an emotion. If it's a few minutes or hours, it becomes a mood. If it's a few days, it becomes a temperament, but after some months or a year, it just becomes a personality trait. Then we have one more association. I was surprised by how much he tied his ideas to the new thought movement. Like, this guy is a huge fan of Thoreau and Edison. There are also occasional Bible quotes, but on the religiosity scale of 1 to 10 on this channel, I would give this maybe like a light 2 at the most. This chapter focused on friends and the inner circle. I didn't really, admittedly, find anything groundbreaking from it. Then you have One More Dream. This one was a little strange. It reminded me vaguely of Think and Grow Rich, my favorite book ever. Everything from the sections about dreamers to the section about Thomas Edison and his philosophy on failure and how that directly reflected his results in life. After that, you have one more question to ask ourselves. This one, admittedly, was a quick one, or a quickie, as some might call it. Then there's One More Goal, and what I loved about One More Goal was what he was saying about how each of us does our best with different systems to setting and reaching and exceeding and resetting goals. Some other notable takeaways were the importance of having a compelling reason for your goals and the differences between momentum building goals and stretch life altering goals. So many goals. I feel like I'm starting to play a soccer game. One more higher standard. You also learn about the differences between goals and standards and how they affect one another. Mylett did all of this with like so much grace and accessibility. A very rare combination, might I add. This just isn't easy to do when you're tackling topics that have been tackled by thousands of people over the years. Following that, you have One More Multiplier. Modern examples like Steve Jobs, Michael Jordan, and Tom Brady are used to explain things, like where being around the right people can equal multiplied results. Sometimes it just takes one more multiplier of a person to what you had into something you never even imagined. With One More Inconvenience, it almost sounds like going out of your way and challenging yourself is the only way, period, to achieve greatness, the way he puts it in this chapter. Ask any multimillionaire if it was convenient to become a multimillionaire. They'll probably tell you it was one of the most inconvenient things they ever did in their lifetime. And he also explained how the best relationships are formed by inconvenience. If you think about the best relationships in your life that you've ever had, kind of makes sense. I mean, actually, it really makes sense. Almost too much sense. Then you have One More and Ed Mylett's 11 leadership principles. There was a whole mirage here of leadership principles in how to create a successful brand and team, reinforcement of your mission, equipping your troops with the resources they need to be successful, and more. Second last is one more degree of equanimity. Islam, Buddhism, and other religions have adopted this idealism of equanimity. It's a deep pillar of humanity and society where you release preferences for or against all things. Life is just about change and impermanence. It's easy to understand how hanging on to the bad creates pain, but recognize that when you hang on to the good, it can also be a source of pain when it leaves. Equanimity is about doing with impermanence and the pain associated with it. Equanimity is low-key one of my favorite words, and it makes me so happy to finally hear an author discuss the topic in one of these books. It's about damn time. Thank you, Ed. Seriously. Lastly, there's one more prayer. The part about his dad, it gave me goosebumps. You could hear in the audio version moments where he was maybe trying to hold back tears. Overall, I'd consider The Power of One More to be a relatively and generously new series of takes on previously beaten to death self-help topics and concepts such as time management, the inner circle, and persistence. They gravitate, though, around the central theme of striving for one more of everything. It makes me want to review one more book, close one more customer, help one more person, spend one more day with my now fiance, and many more things, but I'll say what I got from it personally very shortly. Quotes. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside you. If you use your accomplishments as a crutch for your self-worth, that fall will be hard, I guarantee you. Change is the instigator of opportunity. Do you ever think about what you think about? Leadership isn't about saying new things to old people, it's about saying old things to new people. Direction 1. I recommend this this book for anyone who's looking for a more modernized, up-to-date take on self-development and success that somehow is able to stem from older principles in all sorts of belief systems and areas of study. Things I used to take much more seriously than I find myself doing right now, like faith and belief in myself and joy and managing my time. In the last year, it seems I've loosened my grip on. This has admittedly caused me to rest on my laurels, and I can see how this has damaged different areas of my life. So if this is a similar situation to what you're going through, please know first that you're not alone, and secondly that that grip is something that you need to tighten yourself. Something has to change, but I would definitely recommend checking this book out for that reason alone. Other books that I've checked out about stuff like this, for some reason they just didn't get me back in touch with many near and dear to my heart topics, and I'm very appreciative of Mylett for giving me the chance to do that with Power of One More. Direction 2. If you like this book, you might love Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and hashtag Max Out Your Life, also by Ed Mylett. The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books I mentioned in this video if you want to check those out too. If there are any other books that you guys want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe. But if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to get a notification whenever I drop new videos, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere, and I will see you then.